Yo, what's up? It's Lucas coming at you at 7 a.m. in the middle of the jungle. So there's some crazy birds, crazy sounds. So I and my jungle friends are coming at you this morning to talk about a concept, an idea that's going to be tactical, by the way, of changing our beliefs to change our lives. And this had such a dramatic impact on my life and my business almost instantaneously. Like I was struggling for years, then all of a sudden $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 a month came very, very quick. And every time I hit the new level, the new ceiling, which is going to be if you're growth oriented, you're always going to be hitting the next level. I had tools that I could use to be able to break through the next glass ceiling or the next level, whether that's in income, whether that's in feeling joy and abundant and our capacity to feel more of that, whether it's relationships, whatever it is. And I think we've all heard this, and we've all been taught this, that like your thoughts lead to feelings, and your feelings lead to actions, and your actions lead to results. Makes sense. You think something, when you think it enough, you feel something, and your feelings will determine what kind of actions you take about it, and those actions will determine the results you have in life, whether they're desirable or undesirable. But what would happen to me is I would sit there and I'd be thinking something like a scarcity thought or a thought of playing small or thinking small or whatever that may be, or judging someone or whatever that is, and it would or fear or doubt or worry, and I would be like, don't think it, don't think it, don't think it, change the thought, be happy, be happy, be happy, and all that would happen was that undesirable thought would amplify. I would just feel more anxious or more scarce or more worried or more upset or more whatever. Let me know if you ever felt that, by the way. It's like you were trying to change the thought. Let me know in the comments, but it just kept getting worse. And so naturally, I wanted to know where my thoughts coming from. Very quickly, I learned that they come from our beliefs or our programming, our upbringing, our childhood. And so obviously the next exercise, the next thought that comes up is, well, how do we change the belief? How do we change the programming? And here's where it gets really interesting. There's so many meditations and exercises and tools out there, but what they failed to mention is that on the most simplistic level, all we're really doing is we're taking the unconscious and we're making it conscious. We're taking a belief, we're taking some programming that's ticking away in the background, and we're just bringing it up, looking at it, and now we can decide, is this true or untrue? Do we want this to be true, or is this no longer true, and can we replace it? And so, starting a business, I have so much respect and so much respect for the courage it takes to start a business. And also for all of that personal stuff we have to work through. I remember my first sales call, I was trembling. I was like, I'm gonna ask for money, and I completely failed. I don't even think I asked for the sale. The first time you hit an income goal, you're gonna have all these mixed feelings, or at least I did. Oh my God, I made 10K, but can I do it consistently? Am I a fraud? Can I keep it? Oh my God, what about taxes? Oh, I gotta pay 30, 40% taxes now. Something always comes up, right? But it's in those moments where things are bubbling up, when we're actually stepping into the unknown, that something will bubble up. And we're taking what's unconscious, and we're making it conscious. And now we can look at it and say, is this true? And so for me, I'll share something with you, is I had this insane belief that rich people were bad. They were crooks, they were bad. Just have enough, and that comes from my religious programming growing up. It comes from, my parents were immigrants into this country. I grew up in a trailer park for the first 5, 6, 7 years of my life. And a lot of that came from that, is I was on this side of the tracks, and here was everyone else. And just from things I've heard from people around me, from my dad, amazing parents, by the way, there was just little things that were downloaded into me that became my programming. And I used to walk around and truly believe that rich people were bad, that most of them made the money most of the time by being crooks, by being dishonest, by taking advantage of poor people, whatever. And I'll ask you the question, how do you think that affected my business and actually making a profit, making money in my business? Asking for money, selling things, putting that money in my bank account, how did that affect it? Very poorly. And so I had a coach at the time who this unconscious belief came up because I was asking for money, and I always felt weird about it. I felt bad about it. When I did make some money, I felt some guilt around it. Although I was delivering an awesome service, I felt guilt. I was like, where is this coming from? It came from my unconscious into my conscious. I looked at it and I said, what is this? And my exercise that was given to me was to, every time you see someone in a nice car or someone that you think is rich, just come up to them and ask them, hey, any advice? And I thought that was crazy. I'm like, what is that going to change? But they're like, just by taking the action, more and more things will come up. So take the action, step into it. And so I'd come up to, rich people, which isn't always the case because you can get a car and be completely broke. But I'd go up to like Porsches, Ferraris, anyone at the gas pump, and I'd ask, hey, any advice? And the generosity, the time they spent with me, the giving nature, how they'd stop what they're doing and just talk with me for 10 minutes, almost all of the time. Sometimes they're like, man, I'm really busy, would love to share. They were always respectful. I thought they would like, poor person, like get away. They weren't. And after 3 or 4 of these conversations, my old belief of, hey, rich people are bad, was no longer legit. I had evidence on the contrary, and it's kind of like if someone lies to you or cheats on you, it's hard to trust that person again. It takes a lot of work. So it is with a belief. And when I realized that's no longer true, I could never trust that belief again. And every time the thought of rich person bad came up, I could almost laugh at it, be like, that's not true. I have evidence on the contrary. And so some practical stuff that we can really start doing, especially as we keep stepping into this. What are some limiting beliefs of yours? Leave them in the comments below. What are things that come up that you're like, whoa, what is that? Let's find evidence that disproves it. That's it. So if we feel like we're not good enough, let's find evidence in our lives where we were good enough. Where does that come from? Who told you you're not good enough? And can we find evidence on the contrary, which you will? Or you can find evidence from other people. I started looking at people who came up from nothing, and I was like, well, they can do it. They're disproving this thing that you have to have money to make money. They completely disprove it. So I can't believe my own bullshit anymore. And then your thoughts will change. And then your feelings will change. And then the actions you take will change. And then the results you get will dramatically change. And so I see myself as this kind of like scientist who is constantly looking at, like right now we're building a team and really expanding and building a company where I don't even know some things that are happening within the business. And there's a lot of things that come up for me with that. Some things around trust. I know exactly where they come from and I've disproved them. They'll still come up. I'm in the practice of, and every next level in your business, in your life, in your company, whatever, there'll be a new level to it. But I know it's not true anymore. At first, I get really reactive, constrictive, wanting to control, not giving up control, having to micromanage, and building a team and company, not just business. I was a great coach. I was working with 15, 20, 30 clients, but now we want to build a company, a team of coaches, a team of people who all have superpowers, and those superpowers together create exponential results for clients. And I chose to step into that and build a company. A lot of things came up for me, and which is why I love business, because every next level of business, when you're a warrior and you step into it, all of these things are going to come up. And now you have a choice. Are these going to be my truth? Am I going to operate from this place? Or am I going to step into a new version of myself? So my challenge to you, and make sure you like this video if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comments, what are you getting from this video? And my challenge to you, and again, you can leave this in the comments as well, is what are some beliefs, some limiting beliefs, some things that are coming up, some things that constantly come up that are starting to turn into a pattern? What are some of those things? And how can we start disproving it? What's some evidence that completely disproves it? And I'm gonna let you know right now that it doesn't just go away overnight. Sometimes it does, usually it doesn't. It's gonna be a practice. And you're probably, like I am, in such a habit of believing it that even when you don't believe it anymore, or when you found evidence on the contrary, you may have times where you just unconsciously snap right back into it. But it's just gonna take stepping out, looking at it, saying, hey, I disprove this is no longer true, and I'm gonna replace it with, you know what, rich people are extremely generous, extremely giving. through the masterminds and the people I've met, I know people who donate well over $1 million a year to charities and to things that help out society. Do they have flaws? Yes. Are they arrogant sometimes? Sure. All of us are at times. Any class of person is. They give more per year than most people do in their entire lifetimes or entire 5, 6, 10 lifetimes. So you can always find evidence on the contrary, and you can choose. I mean, there is really no fundamental foundational truths of almost anything. There's just a few truths. Everything else is like, what do you want to be true? What best serves you, your community, the people around you, your life? What do you want to make true? What do you want to believe in? Both can be true. That's what I got. www.lucasrubix.com for anything else. A lot of people think that our programs are sales and marketing programs, that the Coaches University is a sales and marketing program. It's 50% sales and marketing. It's 50%, if not more, this stuff. Shifting and stepping into a new identity, creating a new identity, and creating a business and a life from that identity. Because we are always capped by how we see ourselves, what we believe, how we operate, and how we think, how we feel, and the actions we take. We're always capped. No matter how much information you have, you're always going to be capped. But if we start changing the identity, how we show up, your ceiling for what's possible just naturally increases. And as we keep increasing that ceiling, your capacity for more clients, for better business increases. And when we have a client sign up who's like, I've been trying this for 3 years and I've done a whole bunch of different programs, I know all this stuff. Do I really need another program? I'm like, yeah. We're not going to teach you stuff. We're going to shift your identity and help you operate from a different place. And so if that interests you, if you're ready to expand and create not just a different business, but a different life, and the two are not separate, reach out, book a call with us. You can learn more at www.lucasrubix.com. The team would love to talk with you. We don't hard sell. We don't force things. We're like, what do you want to create? We want empowered clients, empowered buyers, which I highly recommend, by the way, because the level of client is always massively increased. What kind of life, what kind of business do you want to create, and are you fully committed to it? And if you are, it is a perfect fit. If you're not, we're not going to push you or force you to do it. So if you'd like more info on the Coaches U 3.0, which, by the way, just went through a massive upgrade where we now have 3 months of additional one-on-one coaching. So you actually get a head coach, you get one-on-one support, you get accountability from a one-on-one coach. This is not just, we actually cap it at 12 clients per month. This is not one of those programs where there's thousands of people joining. We've built this to be very intimate, transformational, and we take a limit of 12 clients per month. So if that does interest you, make sure you check out www.lucasrubix.com. There will be a link below for the Coaches U as well. Fill out an application, book a time to chat with the team. We'd love to chat with you. With that said, make sure you subscribe to this video, like this video. Let me know what's your feedback, what you get from this video in the comments below. And with that said, we'll talk to you in the next video.